Hello everybody, my name is TylerP126, and I'm here to talk about why I love, but also hate, Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. Now, this video does have spoilers for the game, so if you haven't played it, either watch videos on the game or play it yourself. Now, no matter how I write this video, I can't really describe everything I feel about this game. I love it because of its ambitious ideas, the open world gameplay, the characters, the story, but I also hate it because there's obviously unfinished bits and constant frame drops and left out things that could have just made the game so much better, but obviously didn't have the time. So, let's go a little more in detail to explain my thoughts and feelings about this game personally. The first thing I'm going to talk about are the things I love about this game. So my first topic is about the open world aspect. This game's open world design is amazing and gives new life to the FNAF franchise like never before. The graphics are great even without RTX, and the Pizzaplex feels like a perfect size. It isn't too big that it's overwhelming, but it's also not too small that it's claustrophobic and unfinished. And I love that, because it's a perfect balance between too big and too small. The second thing I want to talk about is the characters. Every character I love. There wasn't one character that I disliked, and the voice actors did an amazing job playing them. I also enjoyed the ambitious ideas for the game, such as the camera being available all the time with no power, or being able to go into Freddy, as that makes the mechanics in the game, such as stealth, more interesting. Another aspect of the game I loved was the story. Now, I've looked around and I've noticed that a lot of people don't like this story, but I thought it was great. It was paced well enough that things weren't too fast, but weren't obnoxiously slow, and I like the idea of having to destroy the animatronics for the certain things to upgrade Freddy, and I really enjoyed the story personally. Another thing I want to talk about is the gameplay. Every mission I really enjoyed. There wasn't one mission I wish I could have skipped, even if some things were annoying to say at the least. Which, I'm looking at you, Mazer Size, for that one puzzle that I despise. Speaking of despise, now onto why I hate this game. It feels, well, unfinished, to say the least. The game came out 3 months ago now. I still have frame drops. The loading is still too long. They added a loading now. Before it was just a black screen. Now there's actually like a loading bar. Not really a bar, but kind of like a loading cutscene, which is they added but new, but is somehow bugged as the text goes off screen for some reason. And these things just shouldn't be there in a 2022 game. We've had the fair share of buggy games such as Battlefield 2042 and a couple others, but regardless, I still think this game should have spent a couple of more months in the oven. And I do want to say this. Another reason I dislike this game is the endings. Now, I know I just talked about how I like the story and all that, but when I mean endings, I don't mean necessarily as the story to the endings, I mean the way they executed the endings. The story of the endings are great, but the endings all feel kind of rushed, because most of them are comic book paneled, and then there are others that are just animated, and the comic book panels are long and decent at best most of the time, but the animated ones look great, but are like 5 seconds long at max most of the time. And I kind of wish that they spent the time to either animate all of them or just kept it simple, as it's just kind of weird having some endings animated and then some other endings being comic book panel. It just doesn't fit. And another thing about the comic book panels is that the canon ending for the game is also comic book paneled. I would think that, well, at least supposedly it's the canon ending, but if it is, that you would think that the canon ending was animated, but it's not. It's comic book paneled. So, yeah, thought that was a little weird. The next thing I'm going to talk about is more on the stuff they cut, which annoys me a lot because they had a lot of ambitions for this game, but they had to change it due to time. And for example, right at the end of the game, right before it reaches 6 a.m., Vanessa says, "You deserve a reward, head to the main stage." But if you go to the main stage, there's nothing. It's an empty stage, nothing there. I'm not sure why they didn't take out the line, I guess because it sort of fit, but to me it just didn't make sense. There was also music that was cut, such as the Ventu Black remix, that was in the files. There was also a sub-menu of the game where you could view models. And another great example of things that were cut was, if you go look in the State of Play trailer, the Pizzaplex looks somewhat different. And Vanessa also does a completely different job in the game now compared to the trailer. In the trailer, she looks like she's trying to help Gregory and be sort of an ally, whereas in this game, she's an enemy. Doesn't really make sense. Another unfinished part of the game, I guess, I felt was Roxy Raceway. All I did to decommission Roxy was fix a head, and that was it pretty much. I was thinking some race would happen, or there would be a mini game or something, but as soon as you fix the assistant driver, a cutscene plays and Roxy gets run over. Kind of underwhelming considering all the others had some sort of boss fight or something you had to do, such as Chica, where you had to basically play laser tag and you had to capture the flag. And it's just disappointing to me that they didn't spend more time fixing those tiny issues. Now, in conclusion, I love and hate this game. Its amazing gameplay, story, and open world inclusion is amazing. And the missions were always fun and I never had an issue. But I hate the game because of its terrible ending executions and the multiple unfinished spots or frame drops that are unbearable at moments. I do want to give a quick shout out though to Steel Studios, as they've been making a lot of bug fixes and changes to the game quickly, which I respect a ton. And the developers do not deserve the hate they've been getting, which I've seen on Twitter and all over. Anyways, that is all my thoughts and feelings for this game. If you stuck around to the end, thank you for watching. And please subscribe, as most of my audience isn't actually subscribed to my channel. And thank you for watching, and have a wonderful night or day.